Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shoe Booty Sports episode 3. Got a lot to talk about this week. Brady's return to Foxborough, among other things. Wild cards start tonight. Shooting this on Tuesday evening, late Tuesday evening, in fact. So we're staying up late just for you all. And shout out to a potential
Just for you.
sponsor,
Yeah.
Frosty Root Beer. If I can get the label right. Potential sponsor, not an actual one. But diving right in,
You love that stuff.
it's good stuff, man. Like you can get this whole thing for $1. I don't drink it all at once because my kidneys would
Sure
hate
you
me.
don't. Sure you don't.
I really don't. But there was that one day I did. But diving into college football, SEC, it's an SEC topic, but it's really just a college football topic. 1 and 2, Alabama, Georgia, respectively. But really, as far as I see it, I mean, it's 1 and 2. It's Alabama, Georgia on that upper tier, top tier, and everybody else is. We had to look up before hitting the record button who number 3 was, and it's Iowa. Iowa's always that, unless you're like from Iowa or a Big 12 fan, or are they the Big 10?
I don't know.
I think they're the Big 10.
Why are you asking all the tough questions today?
We know our sports guys. Obviously, not Iowa football, but
if they haven't figured it out by now, we don't know our sports.
obviously, but Iowa's always that team that is always in the top 10. It seems like, or always high up there, and you never hear about them. As soon as they start to get some notoriety, they'll lose a game, but then they'll finish the year with like two or three losses. So I mean, they're racking up W's year after year. Just one of those programs you don't hear a lot about. Like we see that they're number 3 now, so they might win this week since we even know they were 3, but ranked number 3. But I don't know, it might be after if they win this week and they get some notoriety, and then they'll lose the following week, and then it'll be Iowa football. But anyway, the point: Alabama, Georgia is the clear 1 and 2.
We got Iowa leaps and bounds.
We got Iowa, Penn State, Cincinnati at 3, 4, and 5 respectively. Oklahoma is sitting at 6 in the AP poll, top 25. They've had close games all year with Tulane and among others. So I just can't take them seriously. Ohio State, even with that one loss, they're still Ohio State.
Yeah,
they'll get it figured out. But it's Alabama, Georgia, and as far as I'm concerned, I know they play in the SEC, but I don't see anybody competing with those two. They might get a scare, just the SEC being what it is.
Yeah.
It's they don't have their best game one week, running to a motivated Auburn, LSU, Florida team. If you're Georgia, upset may happen. But either way, I see both of those teams coming out of their divisions and on a collision course to Atlanta. But
yeah, I can't wait to watch that game.
That's gonna be a game, man. Swig. But as far as who I would pick right now, I can't really say. I guess I would go with Alabama if you forced me to pick, just because it's Alabama.
Oh, I'd roll with Georgia.
Roll with Georgia, huh?
Yeah, I would put them at number 1, but that's my opinion. I would put them at number 1, Bama at 2. They're very close, but I think this is Georgia's year. I really do.
I mean, it could be.
It could be. And Alabama could make me look pretty dang stupid here, in a month or 2. But yeah,
well,
as of right now, I think Georgia's the number 1.
What makes you say that? What makes you give them the nod over Alabama?
For me, honestly, it's the fact that I think Georgia's played complete games, whereas Alabama has not. I think they've kind of slacked off in the Florida game and in the Ole Miss game. Ole Miss, they gave them some garbage time touchdowns. I don't see Georgia doing that, and Alabama's actually let people score touchdowns on them. Georgia has not. So I'll give them that.
That's true. Kind of look at who Georgia's played too, though.
Look
Yeah,
at
they opened.
Alabama's played a couple of cupcakes too, man.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Florida typically scores points, and Ole Miss was. I mean, yeah, it's garbage time points, but I mean, it's against Alabama's backups, and I know that's like 5-star after 5-star, but you're still playing the backups, and you got the game in hand, and you're gonna. It's natural to like lighten up a little bit.
It is, yeah, it is.
Yeah, Georgia held Clemson to essentially nothing and had ukulele on his back all night, but he's not Trevor Lawrence, and that's been shown. They've already got 2 losses this year. Clemson. Trevor Lawrence had 2 in his whole 3 years at Clemson. So they're not what they. And plus, that defense is still pretty stout, but the Clemson is not what they have been. Like it's definitely a down year for that squad.
Mm.
So
It's about time they had a down year. Hell, they ain't had one in what, 7 years.
it's
So
been a while, but
I think they're due.
Alabama's down year under Saban was 10-3.
True.
So um I think Georgia's kind of the trendy pick to maybe get a number 1 spot. I mean, yeah, they've earned all the talk that they're getting, but I almost think it's like Alabama fatigue. People want to see somebody knock them off. Like even if they don't necessarily believe it, like they want to believe it. So like their subconscious conscious wants to believe it. So it's like, yeah, I can see these guys knocking them off. I could see Georgia beating Alabama, but I'm not ready to dethrone Alabama. As Nature Boy Ric Flair would say, and I know he's the subject of his own controversy right now. We won't get into that. But to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Alabama is woo the man. So until I see somebody knock them off, or I don't know, I think it'll be a hell of a game though. No matter, and I really hope they both. As an Arkansas fan, it's hard for me to say I want them to both be undefeated in the SEC championship game, but that's probably what's going to happen.
What, you think we're gonna beat Bama or some shit?
No, hell no. I'm just saying I can't say like I want it to happen.
Just had to check your sanity there.
Yeah, no, man. No, we don't have Arkansas doesn't have a shot. I dropped a wee bomb again, like I'm playing. I wouldn't want to be playing in that game. But
No.
no, Arkansas has no shot. It's like what Lee Corso said. What did he say? Arkansas has 2 chances against Georgia, slim and
And
none.
none. Yeah, yeah. He was dead on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, like like a local sports guy. Can't remember his name, but he said tweeted out strong. He like retweeted it and said or quoted it and said strong words and like yeah, strongly accurate.
yeah. I'm very glad that I was stuck out on the golf course in a monsoon rather than watching that game. So
Yeah, it wasn't entertaining even a
oh,
little bit.
probably
Unless I
to
mean,
Georgia fans, it was great TV.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Uh,
they're like we're playing the number 8 team in the country, but come on, Arkansas is not the number 8
they,
team in
they,
the
they,
country.
yeah, Georgia wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid either. They knew we
Yeah,
were a little bit overhyped. I mean, as it should be. Uh, it just makes for better TV ratings. I mean, you see it coming down the road, and hey, if this team keeps on winning, let's just jump them up a couple more spots than what they really need to be just to hype up the matchup.
yeah. There's a lot of hype around Arkansas and Ole Miss, like for where they're at, because they're bouncing back. They're 2 programs that are bouncing back. They're kind of similar. I mean, Arkansas was the very bottom of the barrel, but Ole Miss wasn't too much further up. But either way, they're both on the they're come up programs right now, and I don't know. It's they came in kind of hot, just a couple of big wins. For Arkansas, they're really big wins. On paper, they're good wins, beating a 15 team and Texas, and then number 7,
Number 7.
A&M.
Yeah.
But
is A&M even ranked this week?
I don't know. I have to check into that.
I didn't even see them.
No, they're not here.
They are not there.
But as I said last week, that's not that. Looking back at the end of the year, that's not going to be considered a big win. Oh, I think I see A&M losing 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, if they keep on playing the way they do. I mean,
I mean, backup quarterback. Yeah, I mean, we saw how they looked the game that they replaced that quarterback. Just looked at, what was it, a 10-7 game, something similar. So I think Arkansas and Ole Miss, despite being kind of come up programs, pretty overhyped going into this week, but it makes for a good matchup this week. But who do we see as a favorite in this game?
As a favorite,
Arkansas and Ole Miss.
Man, I mean, I would have to give it to the home team. I mean, I'd have to give Ole Miss a little bit of an edge, but usually in this series, the home team loses. Like in the last couple of years that I can remember. I'm probably way wrong on this, but or maybe I'm just recalling the games I want to recall. But it seems like more times than not, the home team loses.
Yeah, I mean, does that really matter though? Coming into this,
no, it doesn't. I'm just trying to come up with the reasoning. But yeah, I mean, if I would have to, say advantage to Ole Miss.
I imagine Vegas is going to give Ole Miss, the being the favorite. I imagine they're going to give them that nod. That seems to have always been the case. It seems like, at least not always, but always within the last several years or so. It seems like Ole Miss is constantly getting the nod for good reason. But Arkansas beat them last year. Same quarterback at Ole Miss. We had we had our one corner pick him off 3 times.
Yeah.
And
Ole Miss is -5.5. Opened up -5.5. So
yeah, and I could see that. I really, I think it's
good.
Kind of
I could see it. I don't know. I was expecting more of like a 2.5 to 3, but
I see it as kind of a toss-up game. I wouldn't be surprised either way how it went.
No, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be entertaining though.
I'm going to go out on. I'm not. Well, I wouldn't say on a limb, but I'm going to pick Arkansas to win it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have a score. I couldn't tell you what the score is going to be. I could just throw one out there, but it's just a shot in the dark. But I could see Arkansas winning a 7 to 13 point game. Maybe not quite 13, but a 1 to 2 score game.
Yeah,
I can
see
Arkansas winning it. But
it's another 11 o'clock game though, so hopefully we'll be awake, and then hopefully by next week we'll be used to those 11 o'clock games for Auburn.
Yeah, that's been on the schedule. I looked at the schedule today, and the ones that are announced are 11 a.m. games. So
everybody loves those morning games.
Yeah, yeah. The bottom tier love them apparently. But as far as looking at the coaches, I feel like part of the reason Ole Miss is kind of getting a little bit of a nod is Lane and just his flashiness, and yeah, they can score some points. They didn't do very good at this past week. Who does against Alabama? But
he's got the personality. I mean, he's the flashy, splashy hire.
Well, let's look at Pittman and Lane though, and their recruiting styles and coaching styles. Pittman is, I don't know, he's just a really likable dude. I wouldn't say he's a quiet guy necessarily, but compared to Lane, he is. It's just like you said. Just Lane flashier, more bold with his predictions and press conferences. Just the interview. I mean, you know, he knew he went into it knowing he was going to do that, the get your popcorn ready thing.
Hey, but it showed his confidence in his team, man. I mean, you don't do that if you're not confident.
Well, and yeah, and you know that people are going to see that, recruits are going to see that, and had he delivered on that, that would, I mean, we we'd be opening the show with that.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's yeah, it backfired a little bit. I was cool with him going for it,
you get.
you
I mean,
know,
yeah,
on the fourth downs up until the third one. The third one that backfired, I was like, okay, it's deep into their own territory, or their own territory, not necessarily deep, but too deep to be going for it that early. But they kind of, I mean, that ended up backfiring. I like the strategy, but I mean, you got nothing. You don't really have anything to lose except field positioning. So I was cool with them doing it until the third one, and I was like, okay, it's time to like think. And then, and what was it later in like the later in the game, the second half, they were actually thinking. They called a timeout and were thinking about going for it well within. They were within like their own.
yeah, they were on like the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
And then they decided, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, now you decide to punt. It's like whatever the anchor his name is said, yeah, I bet he's wishing he would have done that earlier. Of course, hindsight's always 2020, but I don't know. Like I said, I was cool with it until it was just too many backfires, man. But I don't know. I don't fault them too much for it, but
No.
it definitely put them at a disadvantage. We can't deny that. But as
Yeah,
far as
every now and then, yes, shit backfires.
yeah,
It's just gonna happen.
it's gonna
But
happen.
I give him E for effort. So
Yeah. But as far as recruiting goes, like imagine being a recruit and getting recruited by Kiffin and Pittman. What are those styles looking like? Kiffin's gonna promise you probably the world.
yeah, he's gonna be kind of flashy. Maybe get in some maybe some bigger boosters if they have any connects, maybe let them meet. Hell, I don't know anybody famous from Mississippi, but I'm sure they've got them. They can, that they could meet. I don't
That's
know.
some.
I'd say Pittman is more business like, I guess, compared to Kiffin. I mean, I'm just imagining. It's not like I've been a recruit before, but I don't know. Yeah, business like, more blue collar. He's gonna make you want to play for him than want to play. And I think Kiffin's more, you want to play more for yourself. You want to get your name out there more. Uh, I don't know. That's just how I feel. So,
Yeah,
whereas, you
I
get what
could
I'm saying?
see. Yeah,
It's
I could see Pittman. Just being like, hey, we're building something special here. You can be a part of it, and to an extent, I think Pittman's going to keep it real with you, and I think recruits are going to respect that, but not real in the sense of like, I mean, you can come in here and compete and see what happens. Be like, we're going to do everything we can to get you better, to make you the best player you can be, make you the best student athlete you can be, and then hopefully get to the next level and be even greater. Like we're going to prepare you for that. I could see him doing that, and just, I mean, he's just the way he talks to him, just a dude that you want to go play for. You know,
mm, I mean, hell, he
Kip.
straight up told people, if you don't want to be a hog, we don't want you. You want to be here, go home. I mean,
And as far as Kiffin, I could see him maybe saying something similar, but just in a different way and in a flashier way. And the message may be similar, but delivered very different, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah, not really, but
sure.
um,
It
but
does.
it's well, kind of take a look at like Kirby Smart. Like, how is he getting all these guys at Georgia?
Well, a couple of years back, he was having Sam Pittman help him out a whole lot. Apparently, he was one hell of a recruiter there for Georgia, and he was for the Hogs. Whenever he's with Bielema in the Bielema years.
Well, there's no
Um,
apparently. He was definitely that. But yeah, kind of like you said, Pittman, very blue collar, very honest, and just a dude's dude. Very
mm,
likable guy. Like you said, he's the most likable coach in the SEC. Uh, Kiffin, very charismatic and out there, almost a little not goofy, but sort of just just in his press conferences and just approach to things. I think they actually kind of probably do have a sort of similar message, but just delivered in a different way. And that may not make sense coming out of my mouth, but it does in my head. But I don't know, just Kiffin's his style, whatever he does, it works for him. Pittman, what he is doing is working for him. But like Kirby Smart, that's what's he's getting these guys to Georgia. I don't it's not all Pittman, but
no,
at least I don't think. I don't know. I'm not in the inner circle, but I'm not in the inner realm. But
yeah.
he's doing it. I'm thinking, what did you pick up from Nick Saban all the time you spent there? And
Oh, I thought you were asking me. I'm like, I didn't pick up a whole lot.
yeah, but like, what is Kirby Smart like? What's he picked up from Saban and dealing with young players and kind of convincing them to buy into what they're selling at their respective universities? That's got to be. I'm just curious to know what all he's obviously picked up so much from Saban, and it's translating into the what he's building at Georgia. Because when they fired Mark Richt, I was kind of thinking, I mean, why are y'all so pissed off at 9 wins a year?
Yep.
I was a little taken aback by that, but now as we can see, pretty good move. Didn't make a whole lot of sense to me at the time. Probably did to Georgia fans. I'm sure they were getting sick of the same thing. But you see, I mean, what's Mark Richt doing now? Sitting at the house?
I don't know what. I
Sorry,
have
Mark,
no
if you're
clue.
not sitting at the house, but
I'm sure he's listening. I just talked to him about an hour ago. He said he's going to tune into us, so we'll see.
well,
Uh,
that's good. Yeah,
give us a shout on them Twitters there, Mark.
yeah.
We
Shout
know
out,
you're
coach.
listening. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, what's my producer is telling me that I'm lying. So
maybe you don't know that
allegedly,
allegedly,
yeah. Producer
but
is saying allegedly.
yeah, like he was at Miami for a couple years, and then and then that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was at Miami, but that lasted for not even 2 seasons, right?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if it went 2 seasons, but and Kirby Smart is now on the upper tier with Georgia. Uh, Speaking of like college coaches and kind of transitioning from there into pro football, did you catch any of the Jaguars Bengals game Thursday night?
I did. Yeah.
See, I caught the very beginning, very slow start. It was late, had to go to sleep. So check the computer the following
We
day at
both
work.
caught the very end because we were both recording this awesome show of ours that night.
Yeah. Well, I had it recording and then I just started it. And the game was well over by that point. But I started it and I just couldn't. I was like, I can't stay up this late. So went to sleep and then saw Bengals win on a field goal. But I'm guessing Urban Meyer took that 0-4 start pretty hard. Was it Saturday night that all of this went down?
I think so.
Yeah, because I think I was sitting and watching football and then checking Twitter, and Barstool Sports is just retweeting a lot of stuff. I didn't think it was Urban Meyer at first getting twerked on at the bar.
So there is a video. I've just seen a bunch of pictures, and
Well,
he looks, dude,
those are
he looks like he's having a great time.
yeah. He looks a little toasted. Uh, his
Burnt.
excuse was a well thought out bullshit
Dude,
like
it's all
response.
Urban Meyer is. I mean, I got to
Yeah.
quit coaching for my health, blah, blah. And yeah, I think he said that twice. Yeah. We all believe you, Urban.
At least twice.
And his name is Urban. Like, I mean, come on.
It's a unique name.
It definitely is.
Um,
Should have, yeah.
But
if only his name was Oscar.
Oscar, like De La Hoya, or the Graph.
No, dude. You're not picking up what I'm putting down. You get it now?
I just got it.
It's like, man, I know it's late, but come on, dude.
Yeah, I probably should have picked up on that. That was so bad though.
Oh, it was terrible.
So,
dude, I'm saying it's so late.
Off.
I can't. Yeah, that's the only type of humor I can come up with right now. It's terrible, terrible humor.
I mean, that's fair. Like we have a producer and everything.
Oh, I bet Urban had him a hot dog or two that night.
It's only getting worse. But there was a video. There's a video of him just kind of, but it was a side angle, and it was a guy with like I didn't realize Urban Meyer's, not to talk bad about his looks, but I didn't know his nose was that long. So I thought it was a different guy. Not saying it's an overly long nose, but it was longer than I pictured.
Well, I don't think your ears and nose stopped growing. So, I mean, it's probably just gotten longer. It's probably just been a while. It's probably just been a while since you've seen his profile.
Could be from all that lying he's been doing.
Yeah.
Jokes continue to get worse. But no, seriously, I didn't think it was him at first. I thought it was just somebody that looked like him. So it was just kind of a parody thing. Tweet, and then they showed a picture of him with a girl, and I was like, oh, that is Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I seen the picture of him with the two girls, and I'm pretty sure each eye was going a different way. Like he was having a good time.
Yeah, he had good style though. Like, I mean, I like his dress for a 57-year-old. I thought was pretty on point.
He was wearing a dress.
Yeah, minus the, like, the little Ohio State emblem. But I mean, you can see why he'd be rocking that. But I don't know. It's pretty stylish for a 57-year-old. But no, it was. I mean, it looked weird. Like he didn't do anything fireable. Like he apologized, and I started to say, did he really need to? I'm like, yeah, you did, just for putting yourself in that position, being a distraction.
Yeah, that's what I say. He was probably told he needed to apologize.
Oh yeah.
If he was just a normal person, no, you don't need to apologize for that. You had a good time, so what? You weren't like stealing crab legs or punching bartenders or anything, so you should be good.
Who punched the bartender? I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
That was Mixon. Cincinnati Bengals running back Joe Mixon.
He just punched the chick.
It was
not saying that's
I thought the chick was a bartender. My bad.
I don't think she was a bartender. I think
either way, whoever it was, yeah, he rocked her, and yeah, she should get all his money.
Oh yeah, it was a full on like shot too. Yeah,
and unprovoked from, well, obviously there was no audio, but
nothing she could have said.
I mean, nothing. I mean, yeah, nothing she could have said. Nothing. I mean,
She wasn't coming at him with a knife or anything else that you could just be like,
no weapons. I mean, hell, he probably outweighed her by over 100
I
pounds.
would think so. It was a
What?
tiny gal, yeah.
Maybe he thought she was a ghost. I don't know.
Yeah. Either way. But if anything, just back to Urban,
Yeah,
just
Urban.
being
Yeah, he was just having a good time with a couple of ladies.
yeah, the married guy with the
Is he still
kids
married?
yeah, and grandkids.
I didn't
Like
know he was still married. And
maybe he's not. I don't know. If he's single, cool. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was he. I think I saw in the report today he didn't leave like with the team after the loss Thursday. He left and went somewhere else to go visit his grandkids. So either way, that fellow was
maybe some of the chicks that he was there at the bar with were some of his grandkids' friends. I mean, you never know. His granddaughter could have just been in the bathroom. He could have just been waiting on her.
maybe. Yeah, it'd have been nice to know. I guess you can't really say that in your statement, but I'd almost have. I mean,
I was out partying with my granddaughter.
I mean, it wasn't a bad statement. I mean, it was a complete. It had to be a. I don't know. It's full of half truths. Like, yeah,
He
we.
showed remorse. He said he was sorry. Let's get on to him losing more games. I
Yeah,
mean,
I just like how he was like, yeah, we were out at my restaurant and these people wanted us to take pictures with them or something, hang out with their party, and that
or he
consisted of
this could be of what this could be his way of trying to get out and trying to get that USC job at the end of the year. He's like, maybe I can party just every weekend and I can
I
get
actually
fired.
thought that like is he trying
He could. I
kind of
mean, it's urban.
to get canned
It's
to
urban.
take the USC job? I mean, Sark has done quite well since being trashed all the time at USC.
Yeah.
I mean, he went and became a national championship coordinator and then got a good payday at Texas. So, eh, maybe it is Urban Meyer. I wouldn't completely if somebody
Well,
told me that's what he did, I'd almost
the one thing that sold me was that he said he was not going. So I was like, yeah, he's leaving. He's going. So
I mean, to be fair, what coach yeah, I guess that's your point, right? What coach hasn't said that? I mean, Saban wasn't
I
going
mean,
to
Urban said that himself plenty of times.
yeah,
It's just like,
yeah.
come on.
I will never coach college football again after leaving Ohio State. And now he's held true to that word so far. But anyway, it's a goofy story. It's a necessary distraction. Is it that big of a deal? No. But at the same time, if this guy's telling me I need to be focused and their slogan has something to do with just like personal accountability. I can't remember the exact quote, but it's basically a personal accountability and owning it, I think is what it is, or own it. So I guess he's living up to that slogan. He's gonna have to own this. So we'll see what happens from here. Either way, it's gonna be more of a shit show for the Jags all season. I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence, but I really didn't want Trevor Lawrence to go to the Jets. And I still stick to that because we see how it's going for Zach Wilson. Although he looked pretty decent Sunday, and they did get their first
Hey,
one.
they won. I mean,
Yeah, but it's rough in Jacksonville right
what the
now, man.
hell's going on with the Texans? Dude, they beat the Texans at. I mean, the Titans at Tennessee. I mean, come on.
Okay, I was like, what happened with the Texans?
Yeah, sorry. Too many T's. It's too late.
it's an NFL game, man. Stuff like that can happen, but apparently not with the Jaguars and Jets. But it'll happen with the Jets. But I don't know, man. It's just going to take time. It's just going to take time for them to turn things around. But the big game Sunday night, obviously Brady's return to Foxborough,
Mm.
and it wasn't the fireworks that I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't really. I wasn't surprised in what I saw. Belichick, I think, showed why he is what he is. He had a plan, and it worked. But
It did.
Brady's Brady, and found a way.
Now,
Um,
yeah, I was expecting, about the same thing, but the only thing I wasn't expecting was all the rain. I mean, which I think it kind of affected Brady a little bit. There were a couple of high passes. He did have quite a bit of, I wouldn't say, well, not quite a bit, but yeah, he had a handful of drop balls that could have kept the chains moving. Do you think it would have ended up about the same if it wasn't a pretty good storm going on? Or do you think it would have been more like a 7 to 10 point ball game?
I think it probably would have been about the same because Patriots were playing in those conditions too, and Mac Jones looked good. He
It was,
was
but
he was big on that stage. He knew what this game was, and he went toe to toe with Tom. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Tom.
I don't think Mac Jones could have played any better though. I think we got his best game, and I'm thinking with his best game and put Brady, he's going to be better with the dry weather. I think it's worth getting 3 more points out of him, maybe 4 more
I mean,
points.
Max slung it around a lot
He
last year,
did,
man.
he did,
Um,
and he
I don't.
made some good throws on
I
Sunday
see,
night.
and here's the
But
thing: I don't think we saw Max best game. I mean, we maybe saw
no,
his best game for now,
mm-hmm.
but I think Mac was kind of the story under the story. Like,
Oh, if anybody's questioning why they got rid of Cam, still, I mean, yeah, they need to stop.
yeah,
I don't know what they were watching.
I
Uh,
wasn't surprised. I don't know anybody saying that, but
oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure there's some diehard Cam Auburn fans out there. They're like
probably
he's the best
so. But
quarterback in the world and waiting for him to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame, but it's just not going to happen.
but I came away from that very impressed with Mac Jones. It all right, you okay? I kind of thought of this as it happened, and we'll see how it goes coming out of my brain. But this is good. It's going to be a pro wrestling alert comparison after this up.
Wrestling.
Okay, so Bret the Hitman Hart, we know who that is, right? He goes into Wembley Stadium, 1992, against his brother-in-law, the British Bulldog. There's this whole big ass storyline around it, how the sisters tied in between. You know how they really jazzed it up, right? So he he's the IC champ then, Intercontinental Champion. You should know about that. You know, your former wrestling name. We won't get into that,
Yeah.
but backyard wrestling days, folks. But yeah, you go into that match, it's a toss up. We don't know. We really don't know who's going to win. Like everybody, you pretty much know who's going to win. Like usually in wrestling in a big one, but like this one, it was a toss up basically. You didn't know who was going to win, and Bret Hart loses. They have this epic match. Bret Hart loses, and he's like, okay, he lost. He lost the title. He lost the IC title, but it was such a big match and it was a great match. You walked away from it thinking, damn, I know British Bulldog just won the championship, but I think Bret Hart is going to be the star coming out of this. You saw him as like the rising star, and then he goes on to become world champion. Not saying Mac Jones is going to go on to be a 5-time champion like the Hitman, but
You think he's going to get a ring?
It's possible.
If Belichick stays there his whole time.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer he'll stay there.
Oh, and
But
by the way, how cool was it that both coaches were 69 and older? Yeah, I think that was the stat I seen come across the screen. Belichick and Reed, they're both 69. There's a random tweet I seen that just said, "Nice."
Belichick and Reed.
Yeah.
They played the
What did I
Chiefs.
say? Huh?
They played the Chiefs.
Fuck. I'm thinking something else.
Bruce Arians, bro. Come on. He won a ring he's won a ring now. We got to show him some respect. Bruce Arians, Tampa Bay. What are you talking about? We know so much about sports, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know who the Tampa Bay coach is?
Yeah, I do. I'm just feeling really weird right now.
Okay.
Like it's weird.
Did you get Cosby'd?
No, just feel funny.
Okay. All right. Well,
I think it's all the stupidness leaving. I don't know where the hell I got that from. I really don't, man. I'm just gonna blame it on it being after, it will be 11 o'clock, and
I don't know what's happening, folks. But
we're gonna edit this out later. We're not.
Yeah, we're not gonna edit it out. We're gonna leave it. But because it's late and I don't want to edit it. But if you want to edit it, fine. But
I don't know how. So
you're getting the raw footage, folks. But
yeah.
Either way, back to my pro wrestling reference.
Yes,
a star was born at Wembley Stadium that night, and Bret the Hitman Hart. Like, he was already an international star, but he was like, people were like, okay, this guy can be the world champion. I don't know that Mac Jones can be the world champion, but we saw a rising star coming out of New England after Sunday night's game. But anyway, did you check out the Monday Night Football game?
Yeah, I skipped softball.
Chargers Raiders.
That was I played. Yeah.
How about those mustard pants? Chargers, I thought, have had the coolest
I guess I just don't
unis.
pay attention. I don't remember the mustard pants. I just remember the powder blue.
How could you not see the mustard pants? I mean, they're
screaming
at
man.
you through the screen.
I mean, yeah, I don't.
If you're gonna have mustard pants, I don't mind those. But man, I remember thinking like the Chargers had some of the coolest uniforms over the last several years. I don't know that I can necessarily get behind these.
So do you think mustard stains mustard colored pants?
Probably.
I would.
Just not near as noticeable. You're still going to get the oil like spot. Yeah. I would think. You know my grandpa. I was just curious. You know my grandpa. You know he puts mustard on his fries.
Hey, dude, I like that.
Did you ever? Well, you're a big mustard guy.
Guess yeah. Sometimes I don't know if I can do it now. Whenever I was younger, I didn't mind it, but
so you've done that.
Yes, but now there is such a thing as too much mustard. I don't think in my younger days there was a thing. But
I've never known anybody to do mustard on fries, and now I know two people that have done it.
Dude, I did it one time whenever I didn't have anything else. I was like, oh, this isn't bad. It could be worse.
Mayo on fries.
It could be. Good. You could. I was gonna say you could be eating mayo, but you're obviously a weirdo.
Mayo on fries is so banging. It is so freaking banging.
Dude, yeah, I just don't like mayo, man. Like, just don't. Yeah.
I didn't when I was younger. I liked it. I didn't like ketchup either. I still am not crazy about ketchup, but I can tolerate it.
Yeah, the only ketchup I really like is the Whataburger spicy ketchup. That stuff's good.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what that is, but I imagine it's spicy ketchup, but I've never had it. But
whatever. Get out
of here. Justin Herbert is another rising stud. He's beyond
Yeah, he's
Mac
all right.
Jones is right now, but Herbert can ball out. Hunter Renfro is fun to watch with the Raiders. You seen his route running and them comparing it to like Cooper Cup. Apparently, Renfro
Oh,
started this kind
yeah.
of
What was the guy
almost,
calling it, the China route, or?
I don't know, but it was just a unique way to get open. It's a designed route.
Oh yeah,
Cup
it's.
saw it and was like, "That's cool. We got to do that. We got to work that in."
Well,
And Hunter Renfro is he's just a damn good football player, man. He's
oh
not going to
yeah,
light up your combine shit, but
he
dude can just play football.
yeah. Look at him on stopping the trick, the fake punt on fourth down. I mean, he lit that dude up, popped the
I mean,
ball
yeah,
loose,
dude can just
and
freaking
he broke at it before. Yeah, like he could just sense it was coming. He knows how to play ball. That's for dang sure.
dude just balls out, man. Jumping sports real quick. Have you we talked a little bit about the Red Sox Yankees game.
Yeah,
How is that going? Has Boston won that?
I would think in the eighth inning it was 6-1. Uh, yeah, it's still going on. It's the middle of the ninth inning. It's 6-2 Boston, and I think they just scored another run. So
So when do the Cardinals play the Dodgers?
that'd be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, 7:15.
Yeah. In a game like that, as hot as the Cardinals are, I wouldn't be shocked if they won it. It'd definitely be an upset, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't be say I'd be super surprised with the one and done. What do we think about one and done, by the way, in a playoff game like that, wild card round? A lot
I
of people
mean,
bash it, but
I like it. It's adds a little bit of excitement to the game.
it does. It very much nullifies all the work the Dodgers put in. I mean, because
The only people who don't like it's the spot that would just usually have a lock in.
and
Like,
their
oh,
fans,
we really gotta let
yeah, and their
these wild
fans.
cards. Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah, for as just a fan, yes, I like it. I just like the entertainment value of it and the holy shit, like it's you lose, you're done.
yeah,
Doesn't matter. You came in with 100 wins, and we're somehow a wild card team. If you lose this, you're done. It's
yeah,
over.
dude, yeah. Mm,
And I know it's just the wild card round, but could you imagine like the 2000 Lakers playing the Sixers and that's a one and done, and then Iverson beats them in game one like he did, and that's it. The Sixers are the champions.
oops, sorry, guys.
Like that's it. I mean, the Lakers destroyed them the next 4 games, but that was pretty cool for one game to see Iverson do that. But I like it. Um, whether or not it sticks around, we'll continue to see. Maybe enough people will bitch about it that it won't, but I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Do they still do the winner of the All Star game gets home field advantage?
Yeah, I think so.
Now that I could see them doing away with, but and I'd be totally cool with it. Like I can see you want to make the All Star game mean something, but man, come on, it's a fun exhibition. I don't know if there needs to be those kind of implications on something where it's only going to affect the team going into it. So it's insane. I don't know. That's a little goofy to me, but I am a fan of the wild card round. But going back to now, jumping back to football, uh, Dak Prescott. Did y'all hear me scratching my beard there? Dak Prescott. Dallas looks good after these first 4 games, man. Dallas is starting to look legit, like not just a top tier NFC East team. They actually look like a legitimate NFC team, like contender. How they'll do against like Tampa Bay and all that. We saw them compete with them. I know it was early and Tampa had a lot of penalties, but I don't know, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the Cowboys so far.
Yeah, for sure. was saying last week I thought they were for real, and yeah, they showed it again this week. Looks like I think all the cards are falling into place, man. Or all the pieces, as you will. They're gonna fall into place. But yeah, winning the Super Bowl or something like that, yeah, probably not. But I think they can make a deep playoff run.
I don't know about deep. Well, I mean, we'll see. It's possible. I actually believe them this year.
I got belief in them to make the deep playoff run.
I see. Yeah, when they went 13-3, I don't know that anybody really saw them making noise in the playoffs, even when they went 13-3 that year. But primarily too is rookie quarter. I mean, Dak was a rookie, right? I think Dak and Zeke were both rookies.
Were they?
I think so, or very young, either way. But I think it's a couple of things. I think Dak is more determined than ever. It seems like he wants to justify his pay. Like he's not like, hey, I got paid, I'm gonna take it easy. I think Dak wants to prove he's worth every freaking cent Jerry is paying him. But I don't know that it's necessarily money related though. I think Dak just wants to be great and wants to be compensated fairly for that effort and his ability. But I mean, it's still a massive contract he has. But I don't know. I think Dak just wants to be great, and I think part of it is he's got the ability. He's more determined than ever, to play at a high level. And I think you got to give some of it to Mike McCarthy too. I mean, Mike McCarthy, I know it didn't end well in Green Bay for him, but got it, won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers flinging it all over the field in that game. They basically didn't have a running game in that Super Bowl. And it was just Rodgers dropping back and dropping dimes, every freaking play. And the play calling, the developing, whatever it is, it's transitioning over to Dak Prescott. And I think that's showing. Your thoughts?
Man, I was sitting here thinking about Green Bay and Rodgers, that Super Bowl you're saying. Since then, I mean, that was the only matchup with him and Ben Roethlisberger, right? Did any one of them make it back to a Super Bowl after that?
No, they talked about that.
Yeah, that's what I thought was the most shocking. I'm like, are you serious? Yeah, that's crazy. Because
they played each other Sunday.
Yeah, at that point in time, you would have thought surely both of them would have been back. But yeah, it's crazy.
One or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Packers have had they've had some great years, but not so great years in between. And Steelers the same thing. But yeah, that was one of the big statistical or facts about that game was, because they played Sunday and that was their first meeting since that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a little surprising. But I think you got to give Mike McCarthy some credit. Dak's the one doing the work and putting in the time, and he's the one doing it. But they're clicking, man. I think Kellen Moore is calling some excellent plays. Dan Quinn is shoring up the defense pretty well, and McCarthy's just really keeping the ship straight and putting those guys in position to be successful. I mean, you can say that about all the coaches.
So did you see where? This just happened 2 hours ago. The Cowboys released Jalen Smith.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, they just unexpectedly cut him. So I'm wondering what we're going to hear about him tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll figure this out by the time this airs for sure.
Yeah,
it'll air this evening. Like I said, we're a live show, y'all.
We're gonna take to the streets right after this show and find out what's going on.
Yeah, we'll get on that. We'll get on that beat.
Getting right on it, man.
We are on it. But That'll be interesting to keep an eye on. But well, as far as who's really clicking, we said last week it was the Rams, right?
Yep,
Best
we
team in
gave them the
pro
kiss of
football.
death. Yeah,
And yeah, we did. We're just gave them the middle finger. We gave them the double Eli,
yeah.
and with that, and the Arizona Cardinals, man, put it on them too. It was
Ugh,
not it was not as close as the final score indicated. There were some garbage points there at the end,
yeah. I
but
wish I could have watched that game. I didn't. I didn't get to watch it.
yeah, I didn't get to see it either. But either way, Kyler Murray through 4 weeks is the MVP of the year. Like that doesn't mean shit, but it means a little something, right? I mean, it means something right now. And I don't know, man. They're clicking. I did not. I was scratching my head at how Cliff Kingsbury got fired at his alma mater and then got hired to be an NFL head coach. You get fired at Texas Tech, and like you can't win in the Big 12. I know it's Texas Tech. It's not like you were coaching OU or Texas, but still, it's the Big 12. You should. I know they were scoring a lot of points, but they weren't stopping anybody. And it's just funny to me. You get fired as a college coach and then get hired as an NFL coach right after. It was a little goofy to me. Um, I could see him being quite the salesman. You know, very good looking dude.
Oh, he's gonna
Smooth,
own hella car dealerships whenever he retires.
yeah, smooth talker, I'm sure. But the guy knows offense. He does know offense. He can coach offense, and that's showing in Arizona. But it's starting to it's man, it's taking effect. And he got his guy, Kyler Murray. They got pieces around him. I mean, look at who they have at receiver. If you look at it on paper, I mean, I know you got Fitzgerald there, but who's
He's retired, man.
is he?
Yeah. How's it
Are
feel
we
to be
sure?
stupid now? I'm pretty sure, dude.
I feel like we should look that up. I feel like he's on the team.
I'm, dude. I'm fairly positive he retired.
We got to Google that, fact check
Oh,
that.
it's googling
I mean, yeah.
time.
Well, my kind of point is anyway. Fitzgerald's on the team. He's a was a marquee player, but I mean, Hopkins, Christian Kirk. I just remember him lighting up Arkansas for what felt like 7.5 years when he was at A&M.
Mm,
Studs at wide receiver. Edmonds is putting up numbers at, running coming out of the backfield, but he's got weapons, and I haven't really gotten a chance to see them play. But
okay, I guess we're both kind of correct. He hasn't announced he's retired, but he's not playing. He just doesn't feel the urge to play right now. So it's yeah.
okay, I
It,
knew he wanted to. I knew he didn't want to go to training camp. And that was the last I heard about it. I figured he would. I figured he would have stuck around for.
yeah, they're trying to. There's somebody saying the Bucks are trying to get him just so he could get a ring. It's like
Yeah, I don't know how I
that
feel
sounds
about
like
that.
some fans wishful thinking right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
where's he going to fit into that core?
Nowhere he's gonna fit in on the bench. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, you going to play him right now over Mike Evans or AB or, I mean, Gronk's. Now they are beat up, man. But mostly in the secondary.
so speaking of Gronk, I heard or I read that he had bruised his ribs, and then I want to say one of the announcers said something about he broke ribs.
I hear it's a worse injury than they initially thought.
What? So do you think it was Gronk being Gronk, or I wonder how he broke his ribs?
I
Surely he
mean,
wasn't, like on a ski boat and just, you know, did
I
something
mean, did you
stupid.
see the play? I mean, he got took a shot, man.
Oh yeah, where he got freaking rocked. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot all about that. Yeah, but
yeah,
hell, he
man.
kept playing, right?
He came back in, but I mean, it's Gronk, man. I mean, he's a freaking polar bear that they taught to
Dude,
catch
he's a beast.
passes.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He'll go to the vet and he'll get treated and come back,
Yeah,
catch more touchdowns. But yeah, Gronk is at the vet right now, healing up. And in the meantime, sitting on my bench in fantasy, but I do have Darren Waller for that. But I did put in a pickup for Dalton Schultz. I don't know. I just feel like I have to be tied in heavy. But top of the waiver wire went to James Conner. That's another guy we didn't mention for Arizona. He scored 2 touchdowns. He lit it up in Pittsburgh the year that Le'Veon Bell held out. And now he's not getting as many carries in Arizona, but he doesn't have to. I mean, he's splitting carries with Edmonds, but he had 2 touchdowns this past week.
yes,
James Conner's
sir.
the top of my waiver wire in fantasy,
Yeah.
but I can't get
Well,
it figured out at quarterback right now.
yeah. Guess who had a Patterson around the bench this week? Because Thursday night football screwed him over. This guy.
Well, I would have had him on the bench anyway.
I wouldn't have. I needed to sub out a wide receiver and put in Patterson in there at the flex spot, but I got in logged on a little bit too late and could not rearrange my people how I wanted to. But that's my bad because I'd looked at the lineup all week and said the same thing. Hey, I need to move these guys, and never
See,
did it. So
see, I had Gronk as my flex, where I've had him the last several, couple of weeks,
yeah,
and
I'm like doing the 2 tight ends.
yeah, well, it's when you have Waller and Gronk.
Yeah, if it was on, yeah. Fix it. How many people are in your league? 6. I mean, how do you have Waller and Gronk? I mean, come on.
Gronk went late. Yeah, I had. I don't remember what round I picked Waller in. Probably the fourth or so, third or fourth. But and Gronk was sitting there. He just wasn't getting taken, and so I took a chance on him, and it paid off. Until getting injured, but it's still going to pay off either way. But I don't know. I feel the need to be deep at tight end, so I put in a claim for Dalton Schultz too. Who's looked pretty good in Dallas, but Daniel Jones sneaky in scoring points this year. He's one of
Danny
those
Dimes, he's very sneaky. He was last year, man.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
so
dude, I'm starting him this week. I'm doing it.
I put in a claim for him. I picked up Kirk Cousins because he was lighting it up, and then he just
Yeah, he
stunk it
started
up.
being Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
Yes, he realized he was starting in a big game. Now that mine was a big game, but he realized I needed him, so he
Like,
just
oh, Graham's really counting on me.
yeah,
I'll just tank.
screw that asshole. Him talking about me, but
Anyone talking about, I mean,
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I Danny Dimes for sure. Hopefully pick him up. Got him number 2 on the wire or from in the priority list. James
in the
Conner's at
queue.
number 1, man. If you're scoring a touchdown every week, that's enough. It's enough for me from the running back spot
Yeah.
to put in a claim for you.
I'm telling you, man, I think the only good pickup I've had so far this season off the waiver wire was Dawson Knox. Then that was 3 weeks ago. I picked him up whenever he was started in 1.8% of leagues. So he's got a touchdown every week since.
He's
So.
still available in my league.
Oh, I'm sure he is. He's available in a lot of leagues. So.
Okay, well my pickup of the year was Cordero Patterson.
Yeah, but I've actually played Knox. I have not played Patterson yet.
Okay. I haven't either. I
So
will
Knox
now.
has officially scored for my team in the books.
Yeah, Patterson's playing this week. He is all up in that flex spot.
Yeah. I'm putting him in this week, so he's probably, just gonna have a head cold or something that day and decide to sit out.
Why did it take 10 years for them to figure out what to do with
I
this
was
guy?
gonna say the same thing. Yeah. Oh, and Cook, man, did you see him, Dalvin Cook, before the game? He's like, "Yeah, man, I wouldn't go out there if it wasn't me being me." And then he goes out there and runs for 38 freaking yards. He screwed me over big time,
I didn't see that.
dude. So, yeah, man, I'm 100%. Man, just don't lie to me, man. Come on. Hey, dude, it went from 0 to his projection being like 24. Yeah, he got me a whopping like 5 freaking points. It's like, thanks, dude.
I had Alexander Madison.
I mean, I'd give him a pay cut if I could, dude. Make him run extra laps.
Yeah, so probably needs to heal up more than anything.
He had last week to heal up, and he said he was healed up. He said he was gonna be him. He said, I'm gonna be me.
See, Gronk will go out there without a leg and be like, if I'm standing, I can play. You know,
yeah, it's pretty much what he did for a couple of years, right?
for a long time, yeah. Just off and on. It seemed like every other year. Yeah, but as far as big waiver wire pickups, who's the biggest this week? You would say who's available out there?
Probably be one of the
Starting
two.
to get slim.
It's probably going to be one of the two backups for the Bears since Montgomery went down.
I didn't know that. So
yeah, well, the only reason I know that is because he's on my team. I was like, yeah, he did score me like 20 something points. But yeah, he kind of strained his knee a little bit. So it's going to be either Damian Williams. It's probably going to be Damian Williams. It's going to be the top waiver wire ad, and he'd be the backup for Montgomery. And he did have a touchdown last week after Montgomery left the game, so should be good.
Word.
Anybody wants to roll the dice on Trey Lance? It looks like he's finally going to get the start this week since Garoppolo, I think, has a couple of lingering issues that he's going to keep him from starting.
Yeah, he's proven to be effective in the handful of times we've seen him, but we'll see how it goes in a big game or an actual game.
Well,
but hopefully I'll get Danny Dimes and then we'll go from there. And I don't know, I've been pretty good at winning one, losing one, so I should be due to win one this week. But as far as what's going on in sports, there's more, but that's pretty much all the time we have for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll be back at you next week. Probably or earlier on next Tuesday. We'll have something out there for
maybe.
Yeah, hopefully that's the goal. But we'll preview the big games. We'll recap Arkansas and Ole Miss and all the other big games, pro, college, etc. This guy right here going to Chicago, flying out Thursday to do the Chicago Marathon. And we may even touch up a little bit how that goes and how I'm feeling. But should be all right. You have any predictions for that, Tom?
My
finishing time.
For a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
When'd you get it done? I don't know, 4 hours 25 minutes.
That won't happen. That's way too fast for me.
Come on, man. What happened?
But the goal is a sub 455. The goal is always to come in under 5, and now it's 455. Chicago's flat, so they say. I've never been. So we're going to see how it goes.
Against the wind.
Maybe it's pushing me in some directions.
Then you can run like the wind blows.
that was pretty good. That was back to back.
Yeah.
Pretty good for 11:21. Central Time, PM.
I do have some other big news, which you probably don't care about because you're not a biggest golf fan. But
We're a
it
sports
was
show. We're a sports show, man. We want to hear it.
it was just announced a few hours ago that Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau were gonna compete in the Capital One's The Match on Thanksgiving. So that'll probably be entertaining. Give us one more thing to watch around the holidays.
So what is that?
You know, like Phil Mickelson's done the past couple of years. It was Phil and Tiger they did it with Peyton and Manning and Brady. They did it with them too. And then man, I can't really off the top of my head remember who all Phil's done it with in the past. But it looks like this one's just going to be a straight head-to-head matchup, which will be a first, because I think all the other ones have been like a team event. There's been 2 versus 2, and
So it's just
this
the
is just going to
two.
be head-to-head.
It's the two that don't like each other that are going one-on-one.
Or yeah, I say that the very first one was just Tiger and Phil going head-to-head. So this will go back to being like the original The Match.
Okay, cool. And they're the ones that don't like each other, right?
Allegedly, yes.
I mean, he's one of them's the guy that rolled his eyes in the
Koepka, Brooks rolled his eyes whenever Bryson walked even near him. It's I find it hilarious.
I think it's great. I think it's great for sports. We need rivalries. We need legit. I don't like that guy, so I want to kick his ass.
But to me, I think
ass.
Bryson's the one that's easily, and he just seems to me to be like the least likable guy out of those two. Of course, I know people who feel the exact opposite way. I know people who love Bryson and thinks Brooks acts like he's too cool for school. You're gonna find.
Oh, that's good. We need a good balance. So it's like, I mean, if we all just hate one guy, this ain't pro wrestling. We can't.
This ain't
everybody hate. Huh?
You'll have to listen back for that one. I'm not repeating it.
Okay, well, it wasn't anything I have to like edit out, is it?
No, it was making fun of one of. No, it was making fun of what Norm Macdonald made fun of all the time. Person.
Oh, okay, all right, I got you. Rest in peace, Norm. Man, you were fun to watch.
Great.
Great. Don't be a hypocrite. Y'all can look up the stand up to reference that. I'll leave that to Norm. But all right, ladies and gents, that's all we have time for this evening. It's been real. Episode 3 is in the books. Stick with us for episode 4. Coming at you next Tuesday. Deuces. She-thick.
You're still recording, man. You can quit recording.
Oh, it is recording. I thought it said in. I got to end the whole thing. All right. Well,
definitely not editing that one out. Yeah.
All right. Deuces. She-thick.